Get after it. Now,
Nice.
I know we're going to talk a little bit about Nebraska Food today, but we should have talked about the Nebraska-Oklahoma game because there's so much history that's going on. And that is, of course, the game that's happening tomorrow. So tell me how your Huskers are coming along. How's it coming along, Joanne? You shared on Ravelry that you just kind of relearned to knit this summer, right?
Nice.
Well, I've done one other thing other than Steph showing me how to do socks.
Yes.
So the sock was my second item I've made. And so now this scarf is my third.
That's perfect.
So how's it going for you?
I've got all the way through the third week done.
Ooh.
Wow. Fabulous. Nice. I think that's pretty darn good, given that this is your third project. What do you think, ladies?
Very nice. Yes.
Very nice.
That's very nice.
Pretty thrilled.
Yes. Great. Well, I think we shared that it was designed to be easy enough for somebody to step in and that wasn't as experienced of a knitter to be able to step in and be able to do it. So I'm glad that it's working out for you and your color's fabulous. All right, who else has some show and tell? Ann Fry, did I see you had some?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm only on row 13 of week 3. I don't know if you saw my post, Angie, but I had high hopes for this week. Yeah, I had to chuckle because I'm not kidding you. It wasn't but 2 minutes probably after I typed that I looked down and I'm like, oh, for Pete's sake. I had one little area that was purl one, knit one instead of knit one, purl one. I can't live with that. I am not one of those people that can just go on and call it good. I wish I were. It's like,
that's okay.
Can't you just make sure you wrap it in such a way? No, I cannot. I'll know it's there. So yeah, Sarah, I see you not. Yes, you're my kindred spirit. I get it. So yeah, so I had to tear back about, I don't know, 12 or 14 rows and it was okay. I'm glad I did it. And yes, but it's like, yeah, there go those high hopes getting dashed.
Well, the really good news about this week's pattern is I don't even know how many rows is it. Do you guys have it there?
I just printed it out.
Yeah. How many rows is it, Sarah? Oh, Sarah says 20.
Yeah.
20. So this is
yay. Catch
up row. So
Good.
Fabulous. Who else has some show and tell? What happened this past week for you? Sarah, Gilbert, I see yours.
I am caught up.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh,
are you doing one color, Sarah?
No, I am ready to transition into my cream.
Yay.
All right. So who's transitioning this week? Who is making a change? All right. I do have some lesson to teach you on that. So Diane, you're transitioning. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And who else has show and tell?
Well, I'll show and tell. I've started the current week.
Oh, wow.
And I've done the transition rows and then just starting into the week 4 pattern. But Diane, when you held up, you're already transitioning to the second color?
Yes, the last rows are this color.
Okay, so it just looked like it was maybe a combination of the two colors for a period of time. It's a strict, if I'm doing red right now, and if I'm gonna go to cream or gray, it's a total switcheroo, right?
Right, it's the same pattern. You one time you do it in the original color, and then if you switch, you do the second time in this color.
And I get rid of the first color. I actually cut the yarn and hang out let it then eventually get fed in. Okay, thank you. I'm curious of what tips you have, Angie, about changing.
Yeah, I'll just show you what I did here in a bit.
Okay.
Sarah B, do you have something to show?
It's kind of hard to see against the black, but I've got the dark gray. I'm doing the all gray one.
Nice.
For my daughter. It's kind of hard to see the pattern. I'm curling a little bit.
Yep.
So I was trying.
Mine did too. Gotta
I think
block
when
out.
you block that, Sarah, I mean, this yarn just blocks beautifully.
Oh,
You'll
good.
really see your patterns then.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, it is fun to see like up close. My daughter is loving it. It's for her. So I've been showing
Aw.
her and
Well, that's what's
So,
important.
yeah, I
is that
started
she-
this week just a little bit. I did my transition and
Okay,
I'm a couple rows in, but
all
yeah.
right, good, good, good. Let's see, who haven't we seen? And
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
Yeah, Ann Wiederspan.
Okay, let's see. I'm doing mine all cream
Uh-huh.
Oh,
and I have to tell on myself. I was at my mom's this week and I really wasn't paying attention to my knitting and the sides were too tight. So it was kind of like scrunching in.
Yeah.
And I thought, I can't take that. So I ripped it out. I said, I can't do that. It was driving me nuts. By the time I
Yep.
got home, I thought, I don't want that. I did block, I did block the first 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
pretty.
so it,
Pretty.
does,
Oh,
it
look.
blocks beautifully.
Yeah.
mhm.
Did you just block
Talk
it
about
with your
blocking
iron?
as you go along.
Say it again.
Iron? You just did your iron?
I have one that steamer.
Mhm.
I have a blocking board. I just kind of pinned it down and that's what I did. And then I just steamed, I put a tea towel over it and I have a steamer. That's steamer. It works great. So
Yeah,
that's how I did it.
great.
So I'm almost finished with last week, week
At
3.
this point in time, unless or until there's some sort of blanket immunity deal.
Oh, we got somebody's news is on. Nancy, have we seen yours, Nancy?
I did get.
Woo.
I don't know
Oh,
which-
pretty color.
Pretty.
Oh, that's
So-
pretty.
Is there,
Ooh.
so the one thing I asked, I mean, it did steam out. I steamed this, I didn't steam this. But is there kind of a tip or technique of when you're going the right side, looser tension or going back? Because it just seems like
understand.
there's, every row is a little different. I know it's knits and pearls and
Yep.
I'm very good at knitting. So is there anything that would be helpful to tell me?
You know, if it were all like pearl back, sometimes we knit differently than we
Mhm.
pearl, but this is a combination of two. And I think what you're going to discover, Nancy, is when you block it, that's all gone.
Okay.
I mean, whose was kind of curling. You just hold it up a little bit so we can
Mine
kinda
curls a little
see.
bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it just really, we've used Jessica's, see. And then when you block it, it just looks amazing. I mean, it really looks
Good.
good. So I guess I'm going to encourage you maybe not to worry about it. Because I think, would some of the rest of you agree that it feels that way? They're nodding their head.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, Susan, you guys probably, did you get in on her story of this project and heard all of it? We're going to re-record that since we missed that. But one of the things that she just, she really pays attention to those details. And so this is the second part, but in that transition pattern, she wanted to make sure, because if Diane Perkins was holding hers up and she was holding the back side of it up, so it's going to naturally have that little garter look to it.
Okay.
Right. All right. So I did mine. And of course, we're whipping through trying to get these projects done. And I did, is this the right one?
Oh.
Oh no. Well, this one's okay. This one I turned out just beautifully. But when you get to this one, this is just FYI, I didn't do a row. And so my garter ridge, see, this pattern doesn't have that diamond block. It just is plain. And so I had my pearl bumps on the
wrong side. Okay, yeah.
So then it showed, I have duplicate stitched over this.
Oh, gosh.
I did not duplicate stitch over that one, but you could see where I duplicate stitched over this. I typically wouldn't have done that, but since it's here in the shop, I didn't want people going, because people come in and look at the patterns and they're like, mine doesn't look like that. And I'm like, yours probably is right. Mine's wrong. Okay. So and actually duplicate stitching over a garter was really difficult. It was hard. So you can kind of see my reds showing through.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But that's just an FYI. I think you guys are all okay. But make sure, somehow I was just whipping along and I did the wrong side. I missed the row. I missed the row. And so therefore it put my wrong side on the right side type of thing. So anyway, just word to the wise. Kay has brought the mascot in. This was our gnome class that we did.
Oh, cute.
And Kay made a little Husker hat to go on him. Isn't he just darling? You can
Adorable.
make this pattern. It's available.
Here's mine.
There it
There's
is.
got hers going on. Cute.
This hat going.
Oh, cute.
Cute.
Oh, that's cute.
So
Very,
fun.
very good. Karen, do you have a question?
I do. Again,
No problem.
I've never heard the phrase duplicate stitch or whatever. So as long as I change to color B on a wrong side row, which is what the pattern says, I need not understand what you said over the last 5 minutes.
That is
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
Yes, I did not do that right. Duplicate stitch is where you actually, I've used it to put names on things. So it's where you actually just follow the stitch and then it makes, like you have a whole red background. And if you wanted to do an initial, then you can use a white yarn and you follow the stitching and that puts the white yarn on it. It makes it a little heavier. It's like embroidery, I guess. So it's not my favorite thing to do. Because it's like, which hole do you go in, which hole do you come out, kind of thing. So, but in this case, I made it work. So today we're going to talk about Nebraska Food, and we'll also talk about the Nebraska-Oklahoma game. So I know we've talked about this before, but I thought it would be just fun to visit about food that is traditional for Nebraska. So things that you grew up with, things that you remember maybe from your grandma, and then we'll even share, if you're not from Nebraska, food that's traditional for you, because there, I'm sure, like Ann, I bet out in Massachusetts, you found different things.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That,
Well,
that we don't know about. So what's the difference from Massachusetts to Nebraska?
Well, I think that, I think it's probably, some things are probably quite alike. I mean, you have Trader Joe's, you have Whole Foods, you have, all these same places. I think that the food from now versus the food from when I grew up has changed dramatically.
Yes. It has.
And obviously a lot more seafood out here, which is lovely.
Right.
But, it's, I don't know that the funny thing that I found, and I found this out quite a while ago, and Tara found it out when she went to school in Oregon. It's like, you say chili and cinnamon rolls, and anybody around Nebraska, yeah, Sarah, right? And it's like, they're like, what? You do what now?
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
oh, you don't, so that it was one of the funniest things I remember, is learning that not everybody did that.
Yes, Joanne, have you lived in Indiana your whole?
Yes, all my life, yeah. In India,
Did you serve chili and cinnamon rolls together in Indiana?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what the region is for that.
Seems like we had some Iowa folks.
I would think,
that
yeah.
Felt like they did. Lori Kavanaugh in New Jersey, did you serve cinnamon rolls and chili?
I've never heard of that combination
Yeah.
until now, ever.
Try it. And it has to be the frosted cinnamon rolls, right, guys? It can't be the caramel sticky rolls. It's got to be the frosted.
Yeah. Every Friday in the school lunch. was
Yes.
chili and a cinnamon roll.
Oh,
Every
my
Friday
goodness.
for school lunch.
And Connie,
Wow.
Yeah,
you too?
yeah, Karen.
I grew up in eastern Kansas and moved to Omaha area in the early 80s. I never experienced chili with cinnamon rolls. The other things that I thought about this morning, having seen Angie's note, again, this was before Runza was really a chain that now is in Kansas, but a Runza
Yeah.
sandwich was a new experience for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
And the other thing that really threw me was, I mean, I have been to some very nice steak places in the Kansas City region. You move to Omaha and you go to just about any steak restaurant, and the question was, do you want spaghetti or mascacholi as your side item? There were all these Italian steak
Oh,
places,
sure.
6 to 8 of them, and they were all part of this Caniglia family. And I was just dumbfounded. I don't want any pasta with my steak. I don't understand. So those were the things that I just wanted to share as far as Nebraska food. I've gotten myself very acclimated now. But,
Good.
those were
That's funny.
Good. Well, Runza had to come up, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, definitely. And, they, a while ago, when I used to get the paper, they published the original Runza recipes. And it actually does taste. I mean, there's not much to it. Hamburger and cabbage,
Yeah.
salt, pepper.
Yeah.
And then I use the Rhodes bread.
Yep.
And,
Both ways.
and then make them and put them in the freezer. And they are fabulous
Yeah.
just to have at home. Now, my kiddos, live in Chicago and Oregon. And so I have gotten the frozen Runzas and sent those home with them when they
Oh,
came
yeah.
and when they were driving, because it's funny, when you, and again, my kids were brought up on Valentino's because Valentino's was when the buffet, that was
Yeah.
so big. Now they're getting rid of all buffets,
Oh.
but, they were brought up in Valentino's, we take them there and now, and then they didn't want to eat it, like in college, we don't want to eat Valentino's.
Yeah.
And now when they come home, guess what they want? They want to go to Valentino's because it's and I think all regions, pizza in all regions have a special kind of thing.
Yeah. One of the weird things that I still haven't figured out here, lots and lots of places are pizza and roast beef out here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pizza and roast beef.
Yeah. It's like they'll serve roast beef sandwiches and pizza, but you'll see a lot of signs for like Max's pizza and roast beef and so-and-so's pizza and roast beef. David and I, we haven't quite figured that one out yet. I mean, they have good roast beef out here, but still it's odd.
Connie, Connie's gonna, and then Lori, you'll be next. Connie?
Well, a couple notes on a couple different things. One was I grew up in north central Kansas until about the 6th grade. And we always had chili and cinnamon rolls, and those lunch ladies always made that stuff from scratch.
Yes.
And when I moved to Omaha, my dear friend who's lived her entire life here said, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, do they serve it
Really?
over or whatever?" And it's like, no, it wasn't a dip thing. It was just
No.
always on the same plate. It was something
Yep.
about the cinnamon and the chili, I think. I don't know.
I
But
think so.
anyway, that's my comment on that. And then the whole Runza thing, I come from German and Czech background, and I had never heard of a Runza until I went to school in Lincoln. I grew up in the western part of the state. But we had been making what we called kraut burgers for generations. And it's very similar. I mean, it's onions and cabbage and sauerkraut and salt and pepper. So we have just always made those. And I still think mine are better than the commercial ones. But I might be biased just a tad. But anyway, so.
That's what
I'm like you, Connie. I grew up my mom was German, my dad was Irish. And we really didn't have either ethnicity dishes. That wasn't something we grew up with. But when I married my husband, they had kraut kugels is what they called them. And they were Runza. And that's the first time I'd ever had one. And so I've kind of taken her recipe and kind of perfected it to what I like. And I've discovered, now they make them beer rocks.
Yeah,
Right.
good.
Smaller. I
Similar
really like
sort of
that. I
thing,
made them
yeah.
out of Rhodes dinner rolls. The bread is softer. That's why I really like that.
Yep.
Those are you make 36 of them and then freeze them. So,
Yeah, they're great
Yum.
frozen, really.
yeah, they really,
Actually-
they heat up real nice.
Yeah, actually, that's how the Runza restaurants do all theirs. They don't do.
Oh, do they really?
They don't do them fresh.
Got it.
They have them frozen and then get them
Makes
heated up, and if you get cheese, they split them open, put the cheese in and microwave it. So, yeah, but they do taste fabulous at the stadium. I think anything
do.
at the Runzas at the stadium
Yep.
tastes better.
Test pit, yeah.
I
Yep.
only eat a hot dog at the stadium
Yep.
because they do taste better
They do.
at the stadium. And our Andrew, he caught one of those that the guy shoots out at the stadium. It was so wrapped up, he couldn't even get to it to get it opened up,
That's funny.
opened up to eat. Lori, what were you going to share from New Jersey?
Definitely the seafood. I miss the seafood, being so near the ocean.
Yeah.
But sorry, the bagels. There's
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
like a New York, New Jersey bagel. You just
True.
don't have that out here, and they're not as popular out here. I mean, in New Jersey, you could find bagel shops in each town, like 10 of them, and they were all packed.
Yes.
It's like a breakfast staple, a bagel.
Interesting.
And lox.
So,
Yes, and lox.
Oh, and the
lox,
best lox. Oh my gosh,
Yep.
you're right.
so after moving to Nebraska, what have you discovered food-wise that you like?
We've gone to Sullivan's in Omaha, Sullivan's Steakhouse, and we really enjoy that. And then they've opened up in Exarban. My favorite place is the Rail Line, and it's an indoor-outdoor place. And every Thursday night they have music bingo, and yeah, it's so much fun. And you can there are different vendors. So like my husband could have his hamburger and I can have my sushi. And it's just so relaxing. And then the outside is set up with couches and fire pits. It's really, really a nice place. Very nice.
So how do you think the sushi is in Nebraska?
The sushi I like, but I'm not a real sushi person. Like I like California roll, and I'm not eating eel or any of that stuff. So
Oh, it's so good.
I found
There's some good
sushi.
places in Lincoln though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are. Yeah, there are. Diane, how about you in Kansas? What kinds of things did you have kraut burgers? Did you have any of this?
We do the beer rocks here at home, and we're not German or anything, but we like them and we make them. And since it's being recorded, I'm not going to say anything bad about the Runzas.
Yeah,
but we like our beer rocks, a lot of flavor to them.
Yeah, right. Well, Runzas are a staple.
Right.
Definitely a staple. So let's
So I definitely need to try Runzas. I've never been to Runzas.
Yeah, you got
okay.
And they have great fries and great onion rings.
Yeah, they do.
And what I do like about them,
You can get frings. You can get frings. Yeah.
What are they?
Frings and French fries. Frings.
Okay.
Say frings.
And is it like a hamburger? You get hamburgers there? Is that what
You
it
can.
is?
Yeah,
They have
they
good
really good hamburgers.
Yeah.
They really
Okay.
have good hamburgers. And you have to say the Runza way, and you get everything on it. On the
Oh
Runza.
wow, my husband
That's
will
how
like
you order
that.
it.
Okay,
That's how you order
thank
it.
you.
The Runza way.
and then the frings are where you get a couple, 2 or 3 onion rings and then fries. So you know how you want a little bit of each. So it's perfect. And Deanna knows this, but Deanna worked with my mom, but my mom ran a Dairy Queen and it was called Linda's Place, and it wasn't a franchise. So it was very similar. And her French fries and her onion rings taste much like Runza's. And so if I want my mom's kind of flavor, then I will go there. Sarah, what were you going to share?
I was gonna say another thing to add, if you get the frings or their onion rings, is their French onion dip to dip them in. I don't know if you guys have tried that, but it's really good. It's like a sour cream type base or cottage cheese because there's some sort of texture to it, like a French onion soup base mix. And so there's no ketchup, no mustard, no mayonnaise or anything like that, but it does enhance that onion flavor.
Oh,
And
I think
so-
I'm gonna go there for dinner tonight.
So you'll have to try it. It's like a little extra 50 cents or something for a little cup of it, but it's just enough and it goes nice with the
Oh,
frings.
fabulous. Well, we
And then-
are a third of the way through this project. Can you believe that? I'm ever amazed at, it feels like it's 12 weeks is a long time, but I'm ever amazed at how quickly we get through a third of it already. And, you know, I know how you're all going to feel when we're done. You're going to say, I miss my Fridays. I miss getting the pattern and all of that. So it's just amazing to me. Any last memories of the Nebraska-Oklahoma game? I think I've shared before about Thanksgiving. It used to always be on Thanksgiving, and or the day, was it the day after or was it the day? Yeah, the day after.
It used to be on the day of Thanksgiving.
The day of. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I thought I
Years and years ago.
well, we aren't going to say how many years because I was in the kid room because they set up a little black and white TV and the kids, we ate in the kid room so that we can watch the football game. So it's been a game that's gone. It was, you know, before it all has gotten crazy with all these teams changing and they all change things. It was just the staple. It was we were part of the Big Eight. And I think maybe it even was the Big Six or something, 6 at one point, and then it went to Big 8, and then it went to Big 12, and then that all kind of broke apart. But when it was Big 8, and then it was Barry Switzer and Tom Osborne, and they had this huge, huge rivalry. So there's a lot of nostalgia to tomorrow's game for a lot of folks. Does anybody have other memories?
Lyle Bremser on the radio announcing. He was a class act announcer.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
We used to turn down the volume of the TV and just listen to him on the radio.
Yes.
So
Yep.
we used to.
Okay, what do you remember?
I remember as a kid being outside raking the leaves in the fall, and we'd have a little transistor radio out there with us, turned it up to full blast, and we'd be raking. And the better the team went, the faster we raked. So it was kind of like the incentive, but it was always, I remember that. And with Lyle Bremson and his voice, you know, you always knew when to really key up and listen. So yeah, that was fun.
Well, it's on tomorrow. Is it on at noon tomorrow? That I think 11:30. All right. All right. Any other memories or questions or food that you want to talk about, or things you have? I know we had a question about irons and steam. I just steam with my iron. And I too have owned the Ronetta or whatever, however they pronounce it. But then I got my Ronetta just clogged up, just like all the others. So I just started buying $30 Target ones. And then I give, and then because I don't want to clean them, I don't want to do all that. And I even would use the distilled water, and they still would you know, get clogged up and spit on my work from my sewing to my knitting. So, and then some folks, Anne, you said you use a steamer and weeder span.
Yes, I do. It's one I got on Amazon. We talked about it on Thursdays when we met. One of the girls, one from Holdridge, had suggested this. So I went on, I got, it wasn't that expensive. It was only like $30. It was, yeah, it wasn't that expensive, but it's like a traveling iron too. You can put it, it's real small. You have to use distilled water though. But,
Yeah. I just buy it.
Yeah, and you just hold it and it just steams constantly. You don't have to keep pressing the steamer. You know, it just holds the steam. So I do like it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. We don't have a bye week next week, do we? I haven't looked.
I don't know who.
I don't think so. I think we still got, no, no, we're still going, but there are a couple bye weeks coming up and you don't get a pattern on that week. So there is a little bit of catch up time for you, or I imagine you might have a few other things you could work on. Just think
a few, just a few.
Yeah, Sarah?
I wanted to say I'm really excited about the magnetic boards you guys have.
Yes,
That
me
were open
too.
today. Or that were released today. I ordered mine
Yeah.
this morning right after I opened the pattern because I really love having a magnetic board to follow
Yep.
the charts.
And they're all
So thank
gone.
you.
They're
Are
all
they really?
gone?
Oh,
Wow.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
they,
no.
They were gone within almost an hour.
Are you getting
Um,
more?
And I went online to order them right away and she's out of them too. So but I put my name on the list for as soon as they're back in to be able to get them. So yeah, we've had other magnetic boards, but Julie, who owns Coconut, she's actually from Seward, Nebraska, and she's just a good Midwest girl. And she has a real sense, but she lives in San Jose. And she just has a real good sense of good items and workable items. And there have been other magnetic boards that then just kind of broke. And these are outstanding. So yes, we are going to order big. So Sarah, yours is here and reserved for you. So good job getting online and getting it. So yeah, we're going to get more in, and I bet you can't even find them around the country either, because I went in immediately to go order more. And I'm thinking, oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. All right, we're drawing for those of you that posted on a Ravelry group. You get someone in here. I hope maybe it's somebody that's on our call here. You're going to get a free skein of DK Clover. Connie, Crafty Good Cooker. Is that you, Connie? All right, Connie. Yay! Congratulations. So Connie, you get to pick one of the Husker colors of the DK Clover. You can let me know and we'll get it to you next time you pick up and have it ready for you.
Thank you.
All right. I think I told you that in the first weekend in October, I did get Herbie Husker confirmed. So he's not Herbie now, but he served as Herbie Husker. So he's going to come talk to us about what it's like to be in that costume. So, and we've got other things coming up too. So I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for being on, and happy knitting, and we'll see you all next Friday for sure.
All right.
Hey, bye.
Thanks, Angie.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank